Best option when you are outside of the court is instead of this, okay, or instead of here, you need to go, and this leg is here, a little bit more in front of this one, to hold your body weight and to don't push you more back, because you are outside of the court already. So here, you do power on this leg. So here means that you are already not going more out, otherwise you are too much outside of the court and all the court is open. And here you can play, and then the same 1-2 split step. When you approach the net, 7 out of 10 balls play down the line, and then go to the net and close the volley with the short and cross volley. While I go to the net, I change my grip, so I hit with semi-western grip, 1-2 split, and I already have my continental grip ready for the volley, and I hold the racket on the heart of the racket. So when I do the split step, here, this position, here, ball is bouncing up, 1-2 split. The best height to play this ball is the chest height, but you're gonna jump, so your chest height is gonna be here. Me personally, I can hit balls when the ball is higher. I can hit and I never get injured, because instead of doing this, when the ball is too high, I do this. This is one of the tips and one of my hacks or tricks that I use to be consistent on this ball also. I actually enjoy this ball a lot, and I can take really advantage of this ball, especially when I move on this side and I play here. It's such an amazing ball, and you can hide at the same time what you're gonna do, because look, if I'm here, okay, here, I can either do this ball, or in the last moment I can pretend and then do this and play to the other side. Let's start with the basic, create a good foundation here, learn the principles and know how to approach the net, when to react, when to do the split step, and then you can scale up. Here in this position you are lower already, with this leg a little bit lower than this, here, okay? And in this moment you need to jump, and then you do 1-2 split step. So now I'm in the middle, but depending where you play, also you're gonna cover different areas of the courts. If you play down the line, 1-2 split, okay, because you are here, you are in the middle of the angle, means that you can play the ball down the line. If you are there, you can play down the line and you can reach. So yeah, if you imagine I'm there, if I do the split step and 1-2, I cover almost all courts. Let's say I play down the line, and instead of doing the split step here, if I do it here, all my court is open, so if they attack the ball down the line, I'm most probably gonna lose the point. If I play cross court, I go, I play 1-2 split step, and I do the split step here with the same reasons. What if you play to the middle? Well, if you play to the middle, you need to stay in the middle of the angle, so of course you're gonna stay. Now this time you do the split step in the middle. It's the only moment that you play to the middle. That's why if you play with really aggressive players, or players like me, for example, that we are consistent and we always play one more ball back, but if you go to the net, we are even more aggressive. So with these players, it's always an option to consider to attack the net, playing to the middle, just to reduce the angles that they have. So if they want to open the court, it's not that easy, because they don't have much margin. So if they are in the middle, they have this angle. So the balls are always here or here, unless they have too much touch on their hand, which if you are more than beginner, then we start to have a lot of touch, and we can still do this, but the margin of error is bigger, and yeah, you have more chances to lose the point. So always aim to the middle if your opponent is really aggressive and if you want to reduce angles. 70% of the times I would suggest to play down the line, and sometimes, of course, if your opponent is too much outside of the court, if you see that he's out of control, of course you can open the angle, because the main idea is to force your opponent to run and then close the volley in the second shot. I would suggest the first volley you do after the approach to be short and cross, okay? And I'm not gonna talk about the volley here, but when you go to the net, the volley is the same as the return. Your wrist is firm, okay? It's like compact here. When you do the volley, it's like a wall, okay? It's the only moment in tennis where your wrist is firm, unlikely all the other shots where you try to relax, okay, your hand or your wrist. Volley and return, you are always firm and you try to block the ball. So you like the wall, and then you go with your body weight against the ball. Now, let's say you did a lot of repetitions of this exercise. Here, 1, 2, split step. And for example, now I was showing and I missed this shot. And again, I like to talk about this every video because mistakes are part of the game. Even good players or players that play thousands of hours like me, we are always missing. You never go to the court and play every single ball inside. The only difference is that we already accept that, we already know that, we know that mistakes are part of the process, and most important than that is that in my case, or the players I teach, I always try to value how they can learn from the mistakes, because just doing mistakes by themselves, if you don't change anything, you will not learn anything. But if you try to adapt something, always change to make it better, you will improve, and over time you get better, and you already understand what can I do in this specific ball when the ball is here, when the ball is here, and you improve your tennis by missing more, missing faster, but also learning faster. And of course, if you have the coach, it will help you much faster. So I'll show you again. 1, 2, split. Okay. It was not the best show, the best demonstration, because the ball was too far. But yeah, I guess you understood the idea. I always recommend to start with semi-western grip. This grip here. This is not Western grip. Western would be like that. Okay, so this is semi-Western grip, and it's also not Western grip or not Eastern grip. Of course, you can do Eastern grip. Is a little bit easier, but my idea and my methodology is to help you play since the beginning and to help you progress as fast as possible, but as good as possible as well. So I know that if you play with semi-Western grip, your chances of being a good tennis player and competitive tennis player are much bigger. If you see that the ball is higher and you want to take the risk and go to the net instead of going back or waiting for the ball, for example, the ball is too high, what we see often, especially in beginners, is we wait, and what happens when you wait is you give to your opponent time to recover and to get his position again if he's too far from the court or to the side. So one of the biggest advantages in tennis and what you want in tennis is to either push your opponent back or take time from your opponent. So if you place the ball higher and you have time, you can step in on the court like this. Okay, so instead of waiting, you can step in. The ball is higher, so it's easier to do semi-open stance or open. This is more semi-open stance. Okay, the power it will be on this leg, and then from here you play, and then you do 1, 2, split, and you are ready. The same progress. If you play down the line, you are here. Okay, if you play down the line here, if you play to the middle, you are in the middle. If you play cross court, you are here. I'm gonna show you one more time. The ball is high, you prepare. 1, 2, split. Notice how I change my grip. So when I hit this ball, I hit it here. Okay, I have my grip, I play. Okay, and when I have my racket here, when I do the second step, I already change, and split step, I'm already ready for the next shot. And this you need to repeat a lot of balls until you get the confidence. My biggest advice is to play when the ball is bouncing up on the rise. Here on the rise you go. Okay, is the easiest way, and you take advantage of the speed of the ball, and you can accelerate more, spending less energy, so you are more efficient playing tennis. That's why the biomechanical thing and part of tennis is so important, because the idea is to play as fast as possible, but spending as less energy as possible as well is the goal of tennis, and it's gonna help you. Of course, in the beginning it's not so easy, but with hours you will understand that, oh, I'm playing fast and I'm not spending so much energy. So this is fun. Here, 1, 2, split. Of course, the timing here is not so easy because I'm feeding the balls, but I'm gonna try again. Here. Remember, tennis has a lot of things and important things to study. I try to help you as much as possible. I try to organize everything. For example, if you just started, I try to organize in my book. For now, is a great option if you are just starting. You will understand the foundation, and I just recommend to start from there. You have the link in the description, and I can put it here in the video as well. It's perfect if you are starting, and if you want to get the best foundations on your overall shorts, forehand, backhand, volley, serve, smash, and volley. This is another different level, but one important thing in tennis, another one if you are a little bit more than a beginner, is that to go to the next level, you also need to hide the shot that you want to do as much as possible. For example, You need to start with the progressions, you need to start with the foundations, the footwork, then you need to create routines, for example, 2 cross court, 1 down the line. But then once you start to compete and you want to change a bit the rules, to be more competitive, you need to do something different. If you do every time the same, for example, if every time you run away from the back and you play inside out, and then you go inside in, as you always practice, they already know, so it's not a surprise. They're going to be more or less balanced to play that balls and expect that ball, so it's not a surprise, you're not going to have the advantage. But if, for example, you run away one time and instead of playing cross court, you play inside in and you go for down the line, it's already a surprise, he's not expecting. Instead of playing cross court too many times, if you play down the line more times, you also surprise your opponent, and in that surprises you win more points. For example, if you go back, they expect one higher ball and push the opponent back, but if you go back and you do a drop shot, it's also a surprise. So these points are not going to win matches because you cannot do this all the time, otherwise also wouldn't be a surprise. But if you do it in some important points, you are going to surprise your opponent, and you're going to be surprised yourself how you can win so many points, important points, doing something different. For example, you can toss the ball if you are more or less beginner. To do a kick, you're going to do here, which I don't recommend for beginners to do a kick, but if you are more intermediate, to do a kick, you're going to do here. So instead of doing this and then a kick to push your opponent out of the court, you can put the ball here, and then here you can try to do the slice and play to the tee, and you're going to do ace because he's already ready to play forehand. So you have a lot of things to study and to improve and to help you go to the next level. I'm creating something big and something interesting for you. I'm not going to announce yet, but it's something really interesting, and I know you will enjoy, especially if you are a beginner, to help you. But for now, this video I already covered a lot of things, a lot of important things, a complete masterclass about this. I'm wondering if you have any questions about this topic, and if you have, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really enjoying your support. It's crazy how many messages you are sending, especially on Instagram and Facebook. I hope I can continue to create value. Thanks for those who are in my community, and if you have more questions, please let me know. Also let me know if you can listen well, if it's better the quality, if the camera, if also you already noticed the big difference, and let's improve together, let's grow together, because we are, all of us are here to learn, including me. So I hope I can create the best valuable content for you and with the best quality if possible. I almost forgot to mention, but if you enjoyed this video, you might be interested in this one right here, where I talk my #1 hack to improve your forehand, to hit fast forehands and powerful forehands, and also a lot of tips to help you improve this shot. And if you stick until the end, I will give a mental tip and what I really truly believe is the best to improve your forehand and your tennis game overall. So I hope to see you in the next video, and comment below if that actually helped your game and if it was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next time. Bye bye. You are here and you do this. So the balls are always flat because you are doing this, but you are not going down. So when you are here, imagine your hand is dead. How much weight is your racket?
295.
295. You need to take advantage of the weight of the racket. So if my racket is